Hello, I'm Nancy. Welcome to my channel. I like talking with you on this Legacy Living playlist about things dealing with these elder years that I'm now living in. I try to share things with you that will help you if you're also living in elder years, or if you have someone close to you that are living in their elder years, to give you some understanding. This week, I want to talk with you about self-awareness. I believe if we will be self-aware, then we won't need anyone to step in and take over our lives for us. I have found that the fear of losing control of our lives is a real thing for many older people. I myself, I'm still trying to do all that I have always done. And when I can no longer do this, I've told the kids that I would ask for help. Now, they don't believe me, but I will. This year, right before Easter, I got out into the yard to cut the grass and to clean up the flower beds for our Easter egg hunt. Most of mine are grown now. Most of my grandchildren are grown now, but we still hunt eggs. With that cutting of the grass and that clearing of the flower beds, that did me in for that day and also the next day. So I started thinking about my son's offer to have my grass cut when his grass was cut. Now, I was still thinking about this when the grass needed cutting again. I'd said nothing to anyone at this point. I went out to get it done, but the mower would not start. So the decision was made for me, even though I was still only thinking about it. And I must say, it has freed me up to do what I really enjoyed doing, working in the flower beds. Joe always cut the grass, and I did the flower beds. I am usually checking myself to see if I can still do what I've done in the past. I want to be self-aware of my physical and my mental conditions to make sure that I'm safe in my living alone. I'm thankful now that the responsibility of grass cutting has moved to someone else. And in releasing that, now I am free to enjoy myself doing what I love, working in my flower beds. I remember when Mother was still living in Atlanta. It seemed to me that she just stopped driving one day. But I found out later that she began to lose confidence in her driving. And so she made the decision to catch a ride when she could, or to hire a neighbor to drive her to appointments. She made this decision herself because she was exercising self-awareness. I have a friend who also lost her husband several years ago. She sold everything and moved to live on her daughter's property. That went well for a space of time. But one day, she began to realize that she was needing some additional care that she did not want to burden her daughter with. So she made the decision to move into an assisted living facility nearby. She made the move and is living more at ease because the responsibility of her care is now on professionals. She was self-aware, and she took care of the decision making. I have another friend who has had his older sister moved into a nursing home by her family. He's concerned now because he's also in his elder years. So he's actively looking around for a live-in caregiver who could benefit from free accommodations, living their own life while helping him. He doesn't need medical attention. He just needs somebody nearby to check on him and possibly drive him to appointments. He's taken the responsibility for finding a person that can help him, but also that he can help, providing them with housing and food. In each of these cases, the person realized their need and made arrangements to meet the need. So many times, we as elders can sit past the due date, so to speak. We wait thinking somehow things will get better on their own, but they rarely do. Along with talking about self-awareness, I want to mention some attitudes that we may need to resist. I have found that many of my generations just don't care what others think about them. They think and they speak in a certain way. They do things the way they've always done them. They have an attitude that says, accept me or not, I don't care. This attitude does nothing but separate us from those who are still in our lives. Now, I'm not saying we need to conform to the present day culture. Far from it. I am saying we need to acknowledge that the present day culture is far removed from what we have known over our years, what we grew up with, what we lived our lives in. But it is the culture in which our loved ones are living in. Another attitude that I see in older folks is that in living alone, we can begin to think only of ourselves, not considering others that we love and that are still part of our lives. We are now not the most important part of the lives of our loved ones. This is natural. It's not selfish on their parts. While our lives may have gotten smaller, theirs have continued to grow and change. If they can make room for you, then maybe they will. But there may be times when the most important people now in their lives take priority over you. If we don't accept this truth, we bring sadness to ourselves when we shouldn't. It's the normal part of life. Another attitude we need to be on the lookout for is one that comes when someone has reached these elder years and all they can see are the mistakes that were made. Mistakes made in relationships, mistakes made in finances, mistakes made in health choices. This opens the door to bitterness and unforgiveness to settle in, to devour our lives. I tell my inmates that the past is in concrete, never to be changed. We need to learn from our past mistakes, but we don't need to dwell on them. The future may be full of hopes and dreams, but it is today that should be lived, and lived to the fullest. I believe if we exercise self-awareness and monitor our attitudes, that we will live the best years ever. I want to encourage each of us, I include myself, to be self-aware and to monitor our attitudes. We want to finish this life strong, completing God's plan for our lives while we are still enjoying living out our days. If you're enjoying my videos, do me a favor. Please like and subscribe, and check out each of my playlists when you have a chance. Thank you for watching today, and we'll be together again soon.